The following video was pre-recorded on twitch.tv/codedman9000. More information on the stream times at the end of the video. Previously on Stone to Space.
For the start of Chapter 3, we went to Kerbal Space Program to learn how to make rockets so that we could explore the stars for a new home. We began playing on career mode while not knowing anything about what we were doing. After doing some research off-stream, we then moved to the science mode with newfound knowledge. We went to both moons, created communication networks, planes, science missions, a space station, and then ended the game by traveling all the way to Duna in the Antari ship.
Hello and welcome to a Twitch Plays Long series called Stone to Space. Today we're in Chapter 3, Space Travel. Today we're playing Infraspace.
Technology is the pillar on which we have founded our civilization. In the year 2351, scientists created the first warp drive, kicking off a race for the stars. As the population expanded on Earth, the rise of exocolonies allowed humans to take life beyond natural boundaries. But technology, like humans, is fallible. The passenger ship Antares was carrying thousands of colonists when a pressure valve overheated and failed, changing the destination of the warp jump. Light years from home, the damaged ship now sits stranded. The crew lacks the materials necessary to repair Antares, but a nearby exoplanet is looking promising. Nepper 3, a planet with plenty of mineral deposits on the surface. In order to survive, they need to establish a settlement here and start mining for resources. It was human ingenuity that got them this far, and to continue on this journey, they will have to rely on it once more. The mission will not be easy, but it's their only hope.
Alright, so that's the end of the cutscene. We are now going to pick our starting point on the map once it loads. It takes a few seconds. There we go. So, just like any other factory mining type game, we have different ore nodes. Right here is sulfur. Anything that's yellow is sulfur. Anything that is like a dark blue is iron. A reddish is copper. We have uranium over here. We have methane right here. And there's one more thing, I think. Nope, there's iridium. That's not just one more, there's going to be another one. I think it's this one. Aluminum. Not aluminium, but aluminum. And what I want to do is choose a starting point that is very close to pretty much everything. Aluminum's kind of the only thing that is far away from everything. Actually, if we go somewhere in this area, this has all four of these. I mean, that's more iron. Relatively close by. Then we have the methane here and uranium for later power. I've never gone far enough to use iridium. I know it's important. It kind of seems to be the only place that iridium is. Yeah, that's more copper, sulfur, and iron. Yeah, that's our only iridium deposit. So at some point we're going to have to use a gondola to get up here. Gondolas, I don't know if they hold a massive amount compared to cars. Obviously they would hold a little bit more, or else it wouldn't be efficient to use it compared to building a road that goes up that high. But I know that trains hold like 500 things and a car only holds one. So we're going to make a gondola, probably just going across the canyon here, and then use a train to come down, because this seems to be pretty much the best area for us to put the housing area. Oh, this is also chemicals, these little red leaves. We can put a chemical plant here, and chemicals are used for something else. This is just a regular plant. But the red ones is another deposit in a way. I'm debating on moving it way down here, or starting our city in the middle, which seems like a small area. I mean, this is the largest area. It is near everything. The only thing it's not near is the aluminum. Should I just do it anyway? Because usually when I play, aluminum is always far away from me. I was just trying to avoid doing that, but there's not much flat area. I mean, this is all aluminum and then copper in the middle. Iron's right there, sulfur. That all seems relatively far away. Although I think there is an item, if we go down here and we click on science, not that button actually, top left of the screen. In here, there is distribution, which has a distribution center and a collection center. So one collects everything, gives it to the other building, and then that building sends it out to the other places nearby. And I think if we put... Excuse me, I don't know why I'm yawning. If we put that distribution center... Well, I guess it would be a collection center in this area. And then the distribution center near the city, that would make it a little bit easier. Or we could just use trains to get aluminum over here. If we build here, we'll have the initial 3, iron, sulfur, and copper. We'll use a gondola for the iridium. The methane will be in pipes at some point, so we won't need to worry about transporting it anywhere. It'll just be in a pipe, and that's how it gets transported. I've never used uranium. I usually use solar panels, so I don't know how that's transported. It's probably by car, but that's actually relatively close. We'll probably use another gondola down here to send it up. And then I think we'll use a train to get aluminum over here. So let's actually go over here. There's one more ore. This area right here is crude oil. We will need oil for initial science stuff. So if we go down to fundamentals, the first tab, we grab the spaceport. We're going to place it down. I want it facing us, but I want it over here. And then the next thing is basic habitats. These are where our people are going to live. And I want to have one main road. Comes all the way down here. And then we are going to branch off of this main road. Now, for starting out, it apparently says that we have 20 housing and 20 population. I don't know where that population is, because as far as I know, I need to place down a building. It also doesn't say how many people are in it until I build it, I guess. So now we can see there's 10 people in one basic habitat. That's level 1. Or it's 0, a level 0. But I'm going to place down 10. That's a decent amount to start with. It's 120 people right off the bat. And the next thing we need is power. So to start off, we only have windmills. And I'm going to try to make a grid out of windmills. If you get the circles to not overlap, they give you 100% efficiency. And I'm going to start with this many. At the top of our screen, we have a concrete amount, and we actually need to make concrete, which is just sand and sulfur. So if I build it over here, for right now, that would be the best place, I think. Which one is sulfur? That's sand. We want this one. I'm only going to put one there, and then we're going to turn around and put sand behind it. For some reason, that won't allow me to put the sand mine there. That's sulfur. Oh, okay. I was on the wrong one then. There we go. Sand and sulfur. Then we need the industry building. I'm purposely not putting this on road yet. We're going to want it turned around, and then we want this right next to it. This is a storage place. Actually, I think I need that turned around, which is going to cost a little bit of concrete. And then we're going to need this at the housing area as well, but I want this connecting to at least one windmill. And then we just need to go like this. That's bare bones setup. Concrete takes 1 sulfur, 1 sand every 10 seconds. These put out 2 every 10 seconds. So what we could actually do is extend this road a little bit more and add in a second concrete building. And then that should be all the sulfur and all of the sand being used at once. Now, for some reason, I can't put that on the left side to get as much stuff as I can. So I'm actually going to move that down, move this back over, and we're going to extend the road this way and put concrete on this side. If we take a look at this second menu, we get a production overview, so we can actually see if we're creating enough. Now, it looks like because they're closer to the sulfur and the sand mines, they're getting a buff, which normally they would be requiring 12, but right now they're requiring 14.4. So what I think I'm going to do is move all this stuff around so that they are no longer connected to either of the mines. It appears to be something like this. Now, that is far away from the power, so if I just move that over, it's then connected to power again. And they'll go back to working correctly at some point. And then that is exact amounts. Later on, we will be using things that boost efficiency. Right now, I'm not worried about that. We're just doing the normal setup, which the next thing I have to do is add power over here. So I'm going to put power down this way, and I like to not have 2 poles close to each other. So if we go to there, and then we bring this to that windmill, that will now start making us power. Put this one there, that one there. Again, like I said earlier, I'm making a grid. So this will all connect in just a moment. There we go. One there, and one here. I don't need that many power poles going between them. I really just need enough to connect one windmill into the other. But that brings us to this, and our next thing that we're going to need is oxygen. So, ooh, there's a Rotom in chat. A Rotom Mo. So Rotom is an electric type, or electric ghost type Pokemon that when it goes into certain items, it will take over that item and become a different type of Rotom. So Rotom can go into a lawnmower, which gives it the Rotom Mo form, which is in chat right now. That turns it into grass and electric, or grass and ghost. I forget which of the electric and ghost type that it drops. I think it's electric and grass. It can also go into a fridge to become an ice type, a washing machine to make it a water type, and then a fan to make it a fire type, I believe. Should be all 4 things. Or no, there's a 5th thing. Lawnmower, fan. I think there's an oven, that might be the 5th one. Lawnmower, fan, refrigerator, washing machine, and an oven. And the oven's the one that's fire type, so the fan might be a flying type. It's a cool game mechanic. I enjoy it. So I am going to not put the oxygen on this intersection. We're going to put it... Congrats, Gina. We both caught it. I'm going to put it somewhat off-centered. Well, this is going to be our next road right here. Maybe we do put it right here for now. There is going to be a research thing that I'm going to race towards. That should be particle filter, which is the third tier science. Each one has a color. Blue is the first, green is second, yellow is third, and then there's red, which is the final, which is all the way down here. We're probably not going to worry about anything past really yellow science. Red science is more new, and it's all about terraforming the planet. I mean, we could do red science for lightning rails, but that's pretty much where I would stop, is right here. So, particle filter allows us to unlock an oxygen processor and a carbon processor. And if we look in here in gas and liquids, we have an atmosphere processor, which makes oxygen and carbon, but it makes that at the same time at a 1-to-1 ratio. So it's never going to say in our production queue over here that we are creating carbon, although it is being created right here. And looks like that's all we need. It's not really telling me how much oxygen we need. I guess it's because one truck hasn't delivered. Right now, we're going to be using trucks. Once I am able to go into the research tree and unlock pipes right here in green science, the second tier, we will unlock oxygen, water, and crude oil pipes. And then later on we have methane, which immediately we can use pipes, or we could not use pipes and connect it in by vehicle. And I swear there's a fly or bug crawling across the ceiling, and every time I look up, it's not there. Now, I am still not seeing a demand for oxygen. I also don't know if there's a speed up button. So maybe we're making enough, maybe we're not. I'm gonna leave it as 1. This makes 1 every 10 seconds. Is there a way to know how often this needs to be filled? I don't think so. So right now, with just oxygen, we satisfy the need of a basic habitat. We don't need to give it anything else. We could just have basic habitats all over the planet, but they only hold 10 people. If we give it water and survival food, we can level this up, and I think it becomes level 1. Or this gives it to the second level. There will be a number on it. Actually, there is a number here. So this is habitat number 1, level 1. If we give it water and survival food, it becomes level 2. I think it goes up to level 9. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while. I do have a test map because I was trying to do this for the past week while editing, just so I can remember everything. This is a fairly easy and quick game to complete, depending on how you're completing it. And I just wanted to make sure that I still remember the game mechanics. Now, is this truck gonna go to this house? No. So they are going further away before they come back. Cool. We are going to add more traffic to this road by adding water right next to us. that should be the same speed. Actually, it's twice as fast as the oxygen. So if we want to do this at a similar rate, it should go like this. Now we're making oxygen and water at the same rate. Probably don't need it at the same rate. It's also not going to tell us how much it's making for right now, or how much it's requiring. We probably should try to get to steel production because we use concrete and steel for building things. Each thing here has an amount at the bottom of the overlay. It says requires 10 concrete and 5 pieces of steel. So we should really be making steel. And later on we can beef it up. I think I need to use science to unlock steel. I don't think I can make steel right now. Yeah, we need to go into farming and steel production, which is blue science. So if I look at our food, we do not have any food unlocked. This needs survival food, which is the first one, which requires farming, which is the first science. So if we go into here and we take a look at the blue science, it requires crude oil and the carbon we're making from the atmosphere processor. So I am going to add a second road here, which is going to be, you know, where our town connects in. And I actually want to move this node first. I was going to try and place it down afterwards, or place the new road down and then move it. But then I looked at where these nodes are matching up and they're not on a grid square. So this would be better in my view. So if we go like this, we are going to add at least one science right now. And that is going to get a 20% boost due to the fact that it's near the carbon producer. And we now need to find crude oil, which is right here. Actually fairly close. Crude oil is another thing we are going to connect by pipes later on, and it is actually in ores, which I think is weird, but I guess it makes sense. And it looks like the door for them to drive out is actually at the bottom now. At some point this turns yellow. Yellow means you can't place it there. I'm trying to find where the circle is around this. Looks like from there to here is the corner I can get to. So this is going to have to be connected by road. It's also going to have to be connected into our power. And I think if I just go from here to down here, that should be more than enough. Where does this become 2 poles? Okay, right there. And then I'm probably going to need to extend this down. We'll put one here and one here, and then this is going to extend all the way out to here. Then this is going to be a separation between housing developments. And yes, temporarily, it is going to be a grid. At some point, we'll make things that maybe look better. And I think what I'm going to do is connect these in. The vehicles will go all the way down to the end of the road and then turn around. And what I just did is made a loop. So now they're always going to come out from the building and go to the right, or whichever direction is closer. So if going over here is faster by going around than coming all the way down here, they'll go all the way around. I think now that I connected these two in, going all the way around is a longer route than just coming out of here and turning to the right. And what I need next, because we were creating science, but we're not using science, is the research lab. So all the science is going to be brought to this. I am just going to place it right here for now, because what I want to know is how quick can we make this. If I add 15 of these buildings we will make 1 blue signs per second. Don't know if I want to max out how fast we're making things, but I kind of want to do it. Because if I try to max it out later on, we will then create more traffic than I can deal with. And if I slowly build up now, it would be less traffic to worry about because we'll be slowly building up compared to later on going from like 1 to 15 pieces. So I am actually going to do that. Now I am thinking on how we want to put this, or where we want to put it, I mean. So right now we have traffic coming from the oil to our right and the carbon to our left. And I don't know which one is slower. It looks like the carbon is the slower area. So I think what I would like to do is somehow get the science over on this side. Or what I could do is just move this over 4 spots like that and move this here. And now we can go in here and start researching those 2 things. And then one of these is labeled green science right there. So it has numbers for what we're unlocking first. I don't know what it is clicked on to unlock, because this says 2. So that means I clicked. Did I click on the particle filter? No. I clicked on something that it's trying to unlock, because this would not have a number. Is it spaceship construction? No. Oh, I clicked on culture apparently. Okay, so now it's going to do farming. And then we'll go down this route to get to making green signs. So we should see a little blue truck come out here, go straight into this building, and then go back in. It's going to go back and forth. What we're going to do right now is make 5 of these buildings. I'm going to extend the road. We're going to go all the way down here. Now, I don't like that this makes a bridge, because that means we're not going to be able to build on that. We now have simple farming completed. That's going to always make a bridge. If I go into here and we click on the node and hold it and press F, that takes down 1 thing, 1 level. And then we can do that. If I go like this, it gives them a place to turn around and leave, instead of going all the way down to the end of the road and coming back. I am going to place this. Whoops. Place this right here. We're going to need 1 over here, because we're going to end up building that far. So now if I look at production, before we look at the science for the next thing of resources that it needs, we are currently making 24 pieces of oil. We require 42.4. And our water looks like we're making double the amount that we need. So we just need to make more oil. Let's extend this road as far as we can for right now. And I'm going to slowly add in oil until we make 42. Going off of how many we're making right now, we're making 24, so I might as well just put 2 down. Makes a little bit more than we need, but that's fine. And then I'm going to worry about the traffic. We do have 3 things we're currently using being transported by trucks that are going to be transported by pipes later on. So if I just set up our research going into pipes, we're going to have green signs unlocked. It should not require anything else in blue to make green signs. So if I just click on pipes, we'll go to tanks of methane. We can go up to number 10, so I can do 3 more things, and then I can't put more on the line of things we're trying to unlock. So, for right now, we're going to leave it like that. When you first place down things, there's more traffic, so this is going to spread out and be less of a bottleneck than it is currently. It is a lot of cars coming from that way. We can now come over here and make steel. Steel is iron, water, and carbon. So I think what we actually want to do is put steel way out here. Other city's going to be in the middle of the way. So I think what we're going to do is this road going all the way up. Because this is going to get connected into our storage building. And also to the iron area. And then I'm only going to place 1 iron mine for right now. Because I don't know how many buildings we're going to need for steel. I put this down 1, this down 1. Then we rebuild that road. Now it's not a bridge anymore. And I am just going to place steel, I guess, right here. Or we could place it up here. So the oxygen... No, the carbon and the water is going to come this way and travel all the way up. And come back down. So what I'm going to do is make a little junction right here. And all it's going to have is the steel. And then I need to connect you to here. I don't like that this has 2 poles. Okay, so that should be... Oh, that's spaceship. I didn't want to talk about that yet. We need a little bit more water. I will show you that tab in a moment, just not right now. That should be more than enough water. We have more than enough... Actually, we might not have enough carbon. Because this makes both carbon and oxygen, we can't tell how much carbon we need until we get the building that separates the two. And it looks like we're making an overabundance of oxygen and not enough carbon, which is why this is saying it needs carbon. So if I find a new place for this to go, which looks like it meets there, and then bring this up here, we are going to extend this road and add more atmosphere things to it. So I'm going to just move this way down here. And I'm going to go slowly with this, so if we go and add just 2 more, we'll double up how much carbon we're making. That should be fine. Welcome in, Naomi, and have fun lurking. Okay. Now again, we're never going to be able to see how much we're making, so I have no idea what we need. We did unlock more things. We unlocked the copper mine, which is going to be needed for something down here. So the home appliance requires those 2 icons. They're obviously these 2 buildings here. The first one is plastic, which obviously takes oil. The other one is electronics factory, which takes what I think is sulfur and iron. Or that could be copper, because that would make sense why we have the copper mine unlocked. There's also this building here, which takes copper and chemicals and makes copper bricks? Or ingots? I'm not sure what the game calls it. That's needed for something later on. But if we go in here, we have the first food unlocked, and this requires water. And it looks like right away we need 2. And we are now able to see how much water we need, so I need to put 1 more thing of water down. Because there's a 0.3 that we weren't making, so something is getting buff. I have no idea what is getting buffed. So anyway, this whole area is going to get busy. To help with traffic, I could split up the oil to going straight down here and then delete this road. So now the only thing coming down here is carbon, oxygen, and water going to 3 different areas. And all the oil is coming this way. Should be more efficient once it catches back up and where it is. We now also have the aluminum mine, which is going to be used for something later on. If we take a look at the science, the green science requires sand, chemicals, aluminum, which we just unlocked the aluminum mine. It also requires the blue science we're currently making. So when we complete all the blue science tree, we will then be using the blue science still to make the green science. And then it continues on just like that for the yellow science. Yellow science is going to require the green, which is going to require the blue. And then of course the red requires yellow, which needs green, which needs blue. Everything works off of itself. So after we unlock all of this stuff to make transporting things easier, we'll then unlock everything that's blue. And then we'll go straight to going and getting yellow science, which is somewhere over here. Yellow science right there. So that's going to require parks for some reason. It requires 2 things from the food processing tab. I don't know why this requires parks, but I guess. That also has different parks. So before they only had 1 park. Now there's like 6 there, I think? Yep, there's 6. Anyway, this does not keep going as we're looking at this tab. It actually pauses the game. So what's the next thing this is going to require to level up? I have no idea. Because I thought the moment that it gets enough food, it would have leveled up. I guess it has to go halfway before it says that it's leveling up. Because we're making double the amount of food that we need. Is this getting a buff from being close enough to the food? No, it's not. So why is this requesting 6.3? It looks like each house requires 2/3 of 1 piece of food. I think it's a little odd. Alright, right now we are just waiting a little bit. Is this getting the trucks that it needs? It is not getting enough carbon. So that should mean that everything down here is also not getting enough. So if we take a look at these, I did say that we unlocked green science, but we're trying to fix this first. There is carbon right here, if you look down here. So it should have carbon that it can send out to the steel. This is water, they're all blue. I think what I'm going to do is just add 1 more and hope that's enough. Now we require more oil. And something else I should be pointing out is everything I place down requires a certain amount of workers, as you can see by the helmet icon. Up at the top right, we have the amount of housing we have. Then following that to the left is the amount of people we have. So we can actually have 2 more people come in from the spaceship. And on the left of that is how many jobs total throughout all of our things. Now, I actually see a level 2 house right here. So we need about 8 food in each building before it levels up, it seems. And that added an extra 2 people to the house. So now there's 12 instead of 10. It also changes the person that's above the housing. Each level has a different person. Oh, that just leveled up. So we have this guy, and we have this guy now. There is going to be a lady at some point, I just forget which level she is on. Are we finally getting copper this way? Or not copper, carbon. Or is it still all going to the science? I have a feeling it's all going to science. Until the science stuff is full. It looks like they all hold 10 and that's it. Maybe at some point that'll be all leveled up. What we have now is green science unlocked. It gets a buff from being near the blue. And if we actually place this correctly, we get 4 right there. Wow. Wasn't expecting that. What I'm going to do is not try to get the most efficient way here. And I'm going to place as many green signs as I can to match the production of our blue signs. So right now we're making 24, we're requesting 14. That should be relatively close once I add more power. Oh no, that's network 2 that's not getting enough power. That should be this one down here. No, that's network 1 apparently, because I placed that in first. Alright, let's add another wind turbine over here. And we'll go this way now. And then of course, put our poles in. And we have our first set of ads, so what I'm going to do is take a quick break, and I'll see you guys in about 3 minutes. So, looking at this, I see that green science requires a lot of sand. At least I think that's sand. Yep. So we're going to have to come down here and add a bunch of sand mines to over here. And what I'm thinking of doing is branching off from this road. Going this way, connecting in this way, moving the sand mines around, and of course adding more. And it looks like one mine makes about 12, well, makes exactly 12. We need 37, so I'm going to overshoot for 48, which is going to be 4 of these mines. No? Oh, one of them doesn't have power. It doesn't tell you right away that they don't have power. It waits a little bit. I guess we'll make a triangle out of wires there. Oh, I didn't realize that the windmill was right there. At some point, I am going to have everything connected together when I have like a large enough amount of power that they're all capable of being together. The next thing we need... chemicals, which again are these red flowers. There was one down here. These are actually further away. I don't want to go that far. I also am starting to not like my placement of where everything is. It's too close to the city. We're gonna move this around once we get pipes unlocked, I guess. So what I want to do first is disconnect this road so that when we bring chemicals down here, they go this way instead of going through the city. So if I bring this all the way up here, we're going to add in just one thing for chemicals, which is this blue guy, as far away from the flowers as I can, right there. How much is this going to make? It says 0, but that's because we don't have it in the power network. If I just bring it to here, that should be close enough. You make 12. We need 50, so we're gonna need 5 so that we make 60. So if I just take a second here and disconnect the power from there, that's actually the city power. Where would the next windmill go? And is it out of the way from the chemicals? It is actually in the middle of the chemicals. So we're not going to put power there. But I am just going to go like this and here. And disconnect these two. I do prefer to put all my stuff on the actual grid compared to being off the grid like a lot of these road nodes are. They're not on an actual square. But there's not really a need to do so. It's just a visual thing. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. That should be more than enough. Now, we have not enough people for our jobs. That's why it's yellow. And if our housing development is not high enough, we will not request more people. So an issue I have in my test save that I use for editing is that I have way too much traffic, which meant that my food was not going around, which meant my housing was not leveling up. And that meant that I was not getting more population to then fill in the work areas. And as far as I know, there's no way to prioritize a building to be worked in. Like, I know games like Timberborn, you can prioritize a building to be like, work here, then when that's filled, go work over here. But in this game, there is not. We are still upgrading the houses. We are slowly upgrading them. We only need 7.1 and we're making 12. So I think it's just the houses aren't backlogged. I just heard something. Metal. Oh, it's the kittens. They're playing over by the heater that's not on. That's why you guys can't see them. In the bottom right corner, you just may have saw a kitten run around. That little black corner that you can see near the middle where the bed is, that's a coffee table that is near my heater. It's a floor heater. It's about like a foot away from it, so it shouldn't get hot or anything. But the kittens have enough room to run behind it. I don't think it's cold enough in here for the heater to turn on. I am a little worried about them. I might put something blocking them from getting near the heaters. They should be okay for now. I'll worry about that later. We now do have our housing back up to where it needs to be. I am going to eat a piece of candy. And this Pokemon that I chose is Drowsy. It's like a little fat guy with a weird nose. It's kind of like a Squidward nose. And on the bottom, that's not pants, that is mud. At least I think it is. Could be its skin color. Yellow and brown. But while I eat this, I'm letting the game run so that it can give more food to the houses and upgrade them. Alright, so all the sand is pretty much over here. Our number did move up a little bit, I think. But everything down here now has all the sand it needs. It is only now requesting aluminum. It's way over here. That's iron, right? Yep. This is the first closest aluminum. It is going to take quite a while to get over to our city. I think I can put the road here. But I'll put it here just to make sure that they can reach. We're not gonna... Speaking of Gen 1 Pokemon, there's a cloister in chat. Do I have a cloister in here that I can show you what it looks like? I think I have a cloister. Let me just dump them all out. Cloister, like the name suggests, is a cloister. Hello, Mama. You want to smell? It's chocolate, it's not for you. I might not have a cloister before it despawns. I have two, but nope, that's not a butterfly. Never mind. Cloister looks like a cloister. That's all you need to know. What do you want? I don't know if her purring gets caught on the camera. Don't walk on the keyboard. Do you want treats? Want these? You guys can't see her. Mama's on the table. I moved the 3D printer off the table so that she can climb up here. Just like how Tori used to climb up here. Anyway. I did not get a chance to look and see if I caught that Pokemon before. So hopefully I don't have that, or I do have it. And don't need it, is what I meant to say. We are going to want power. And apparently the power creator does not use, or does not connect power. So we're gonna need that right there. Now this is making 6, we need 12 and a half pretty much, so I'm gonna need 3 of them here. And I think we're gonna have to extend our little housing development over here first before we continue. So I think I'm gonna go for another 10 buildings. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 buildings. We should have more than enough oxygen because we added more of these buildings so that we could have more carbon. This is going to take a moment for all this to get caught up. Now is... oh, the food's not going to be needed until these all get the oxygen that it needs. No, it should need the food now. Yeah. I guess it's just going to wait until it gets oxygen and then it's going to request everything else. But then again, there's water trucks. No, that's oxygen. Okay, oxygen looks similar to water. Oxygen is the white, or the light blue. Water is the dark blue. Green should be food. And then pink is people. So, right away, that's everyone satisfied for right now. Not leveling up, just satisfied. And we should have the ship coming back and forth. Now, I can add more than one of these. According to the game itself, it does not benefit you by adding more than one landing pad. It doesn't make things faster. It doesn't bring the ships in faster. The only thing that makes people come in is the fact that we have an immigration rate. So long as we keep increasing our level of the housing, we need to keep the level above this. And I guess that goes up over time, or it goes up how much population we have. At some point, this is going to require us to all be in level 2. Right now, doesn't require us anything. We need to come over here and get this road connected in. So I think I want to go from here straight across. I think it goes to here. Yep, that's all on the same grid. And then to here, I think, and then straight in. Is that still a straight road? Doesn't need to be straight, but it helps. That goes to there. Where should I have this connect in? I could have it connect in with the chemicals, or I could have it connect in down here, and I think I'm gonna have it connect in down there. So if I just put you to there, we'll bring it out this way first. That should now start requesting trucks. It's going to take quite a while for all this to catch up to the buildings, but we are creating enough. I'm just waiting to see how long it takes for all the trucks to get out. And then after this initial surge, they should start coming out intermittently when it's actually requesting more. The game knows already that this is going to be used up immediately, so it's adding more trucks to the line. So we could wait here long enough and actually see the frequency of the trucks. So it looks like this is the amount of space that's going to be between each vehicle. Because that should be the third one, and as when this gets to about here, it's going to request 2 more. This would be the first 2 right here. Yep, there's another 2. They get a nice little bridge here. And if we take a look at all the trucks, they are actually hovering. They do not have actual tires. If we head all the way down here, we could fix this road to make it one big bridge. I think I might do that while I'm paused. Is it actually paused? It is. There's nothing visual. Oh, down here. There is a fast forward button. Okay. I never noticed that there. If I just delete all of this to there. And then we reconnect this. It makes a pretty cool looking bridge. Alright, so this is going to take a while to get over here. What's the next thing that this is requiring? Home appliances for level 3. This makes home appliances. It needs plastic and it needs the green chips. Green chips take copper and iron. So what I'm gonna do is add a road back in from here to here. Because it's gonna require oil out here. Requested, I mean. And iron's there, copper's right here. We could connect copper into this road directly. I think that's what we'll do. I'll go down like this. We'll go that way. But just one for now. One little windmill. One little pole. And that'll start making copper while we don't need it. And the next thing I'm going to do is not go right here. We're going to make another junction out this way. Which way does the oil? The oil comes in from the bottom, so we're going to connect this junction and up to here. And then out this way is where we're going to make everything that goes to the city. So this looks like it's making a bridge, but it's not. I'm going to ignore it. I want chips. Which apparently do not have a road because this is too high. Which luckily you can adjust the road and it will update the building. A lot of games, when you adjust things like that, it will require you to replace the building back in. And I'm very glad that this game does not do that. Also just fixing the road a little bit further out. Okay, so that only needs iron and copper. We're making both. Next thing we need is this, which is going to require oil. And this makes the home appliances, which I'm purposely placing far away. So the oil is going to be able to come down here and go straight into this. Now, if I give this some power. Here and then here. We now should see our production change. We apparently need at least one more iron mine. That's not too bad. According to how much appliances we need at least one more. And then we need more food. I just placed this right there. We now need more water. We now need more power. Can I place in this right here? I can, apparently. Can I place one here? Does it matter where they're placed? I didn't think I could place it on the side of the mountain like that. Okay. That's cool and unexpected. That there, and then this one here. Now we have an overabundance of power again. How close are the aluminum? Oh, our main bulk is down here. This must be the main bulk. Is that a bird or kittens? Bird. Okay, so this is probably the first truck of aluminum getting all the way over here. And then this should kick on and then start requesting the actual amounts that it needs. I don't think when you first place them in before they start running, it gives you the right amount. We should start seeing trucks going into each one and filling it up completely now. And then we should see a green truck come out of them periodically and go over to the research place. Now, the green science is not at a 15-second rate. It is at a 30-second rate. So for us to make the same amount of green signs as we were making blue signs, we would need double. Which would then request double the amount of blue. So we would have to double up both of these to then make the green signs make the same amount of signs as this one thing of 4 or 5 blues. And it's going to get progressively larger numbers for these two things as we get into the different signs colors later on. We should be getting research for pipes done. We are. In the meantime, I'm going to keep an eye on these, which while we're waiting for pipes to get done, we can take a look at the spaceship tab. There's also an Arbolivia. Arbolivia? Arbolivia. It's one of the new Pokemons from Scarlet and Violet, so I don't really know the correct way to say that word, but it's one of the Pokemon that evolved from the Olive Pokemon. So it's either the first evolution or the second one. Kind of looks like a bird with olives growing off of its wings. But anyway, if we look at the spaceship tab, it brings us to the spaceship. Not what I meant to do, I don't think. Because I meant to just see this. So, the main purpose of this colony is to make pieces of things that we can send to the spaceship, and that'll fix up different pieces of it. I have never tried to complete the game by fixing the spaceship, but that is our end goal for this playthrough. We are going to do every single one of these, even if we're not going to use it. Like, there's probably something in here for terraforming, which I would assume is the laser cannon to destroy things on the planet. But we're going to fix everything, and if we take a look at the arrows, it'll tell us what items we need. So for this one, it looks like it needs aluminum, plastic, and the electronics. We're making all 3 of those right now. We could send them out and fix the bridge of the ship, which then gives us bonuses. For each different thing, we get different bonuses. Each time electronics is produced, you get 1 extra unit, so we will double the amount of green electronics we're making. And then each time plastic is produced, we'll gain an extra unit. So it'll double the plastic and electronics as we create them. So we'll need half as many buildings. We also have communication array, which needs late game stuff. Not going to look at it. This requires mid game stuff, which is a holo display, I think, and computer. This we're making, no, we're not making motors, but we're going to soon. Motors, I think, are required for yellow signs. This is late game stuff. That's definitely yellow science, but the other 2 things are late game. And then this requires the copper bars I was telling you about, and that looks like water. Distilled water. Huh. We have the orbital scanners, which I'm guessing is more terraforming stuff. This definitely is something I don't know. Advanced filtering mesh. We have this one we could unlock pretty soon, the passenger deck, which will give us 1 unit of food extra for all of our foods. So we're going to have 2 different types, survival food and good food. And then we'll also get a reduction of 15% of all habitat needs. We also have the hull, requires chemicals and 2 other things. Radiation shield, storage deck, which we're making all that stuff. We could do a storage deck. Every time a home appliance is created, we get 2 extra units. And every time steel and concrete are created, we get 3 extra units. We might want to do that soon. We also have the telescope and the thermal systems. Thermal systems we can actually do as well. We have all 4 of these things. No, we don't. Methane is something we're unlocking soon. But anyway, all this stuff is going to be completed at some point. So I could make all these on the to-do list. Let's do that. Let's update the to-do list. The game should not despawn from the screen, so you guys can read it off as I'm typing them in. I am going to do this and then start typing everything. So we have the bridge. I'm going to put comms instead of communication array. Computer deck. And then I'm guessing FTL is an acronym for something in the cutscene that I forget what it's called. The kittens must be playing on something. I can see one at the top left corner of the screen in the camera that just got out of view. Probably trying to climb up my bed, and they're not big enough to climb up them yet. Anyway, FTL engine. FTL fuel. FTL turbine, which I would assume is engine as well, but I guess not. Orbital scanners. Passenger deck. Hull. Radiation shield seems very important. Storage deck. Telescope. Thermal systems. And lastly, the laser cannon. Now, I'm going to assume that this is too many different things on the list for OBS to show the entire thing. It's probably only going to show everything up to orbital scanners, so all of the FTL stuff, and then probably nothing below that. So I'm going to update it. It's also going to clear chat on the screen for OBS, but not actual chat. I update that. What did it actually... Oh, it actually got past passenger deck. It went all the way down the hole. I'm surprised. Okay, so what on here is not visible that we're going to do first? Storage deck is not visible. That's right underneath radiation shield. So if we do passenger deck and bridge first, we'll be able to see... There's a kitten on my bed. I need to go remove the kitten from my bed so that they don't fall down. Hi. So I will be right back. We're not going to go into the rear back scene. We're just going to be in here, and you guys will be able to see me pick them up, or put them down, I mean. Mama, your baby is on my bed. There we go. Gonna get the blanket back on, and then we're going back into the game. Actually, the blanket fell completely. This is what I was trying to do in the ad breaks so that we weren't waiting here for this. What do you want? Do you want to lay on my lap? That would be a first. I think you just want something to eat. Hi. You guys can't see her. Oh, you can kind of see her. And I see that one kitten is starting to move around again. Is it going to jump up on my bed again? What are you doing? What? Okay, we're going to see if she's going to stay there. But anyway, let's get back into the game. I don't know how to get things to the ship right now. I would assume this takes things to the ship, but it does not. We also need to get our buildings up to speed. So what are these missing? Survival food. Are we not making enough? We are still making an over amount. We are full though. So as these upgrade, that's the only time they're going to be requesting more people. We are very close to our research being done. How do I send things to the ship? That's terraforming stuff. I have no idea what that is for. This is all train stations, it seems. Is this it? Laser targeting station. That's not what I was looking for. Not science. Is it food? No, it wouldn't be food. Definitely not that stuff. I don't think it'd be decoration. Although we can put a sign. How do we send stuff to the ship? There's gotta be something here. On the lines of fixing ship. Spaceship repair. There we go. I need whatever that is, which is at the end of the trains. Spaceship construction facility. Which requires research spaceship construction. Which is right here. It's green. Okay, so green is now number 4. We're going to unlock pipes, tanks to store stuff, then methane, and spaceship construction. And then we should probably go back and do all the blue signs. So if I look for blue, there's blue here, and here, border fence. Aside from that, I don't see anything else that's blue. What is going on here? There are red cars, which are the stuff from over here. We now have pipes. So we are going to add pipes and get rid of roads. So this is the crude oil. Crude oil goes up here. So now no trucks are going to go that direction anymore. They're probably going to finish their route and come back and then never respawn again. So we could get rid of this entire road. So if I get rid of that road, I'm going to want it down here. I can still get rid of this. And then we also need it over here to plastics. And now there is no reason for us to send out trucks anymore. So anything that's on the road is still going to make its round trip back to the oil, but afterwards, nothing else. We're going to want oxygen. And we're going to want water. So we should see after everything goes back and forth that the only thing coming out of here is food and carbon. We should get some water and oxygen leaving to go somewhere else, and I don't remember where it is. It's not that. That's oil. That's not it. Steel takes water. Let's bring the water out here. Alright, there are a lot of cars here. That's chemicals and aluminum mixed together, and then this stuff. All because copper is part of that road. Do we have one-way roads unlocked? No, I'm guessing one-way road is green. It is green, okay. The next thing we're going to focus on after all the blue stuff is done is getting the 4-lane roads, because that's going to help us with a lot of our traffic issues later on. I should also be prioritizing distribution as well. Hi. I think I might have to put a bed for a little fur ball next to me. Are you purring? She is purring, loud enough for the microphone to pick it up and put it through the headphones. Hey, we have our first level 3 houses here, and there's not enough power on this again. Should I just connect it into these two? I think I should. So if I make a horrible looking line, can I get rid of one of these? Yeah, I can go to there. And here. We can get rid of that one. And then we're gonna go this way. Alright, that will not get rid of one. I think I'll go there and here. So that connected in all of this stuff to being the same power. The only thing that's not on the same power is this way over here, which is network 2 now, because it was placed in after this network. We have the oil, we have tanks now. We're gonna need more power immediately, so let's just keep adding to it. It looks like we can add in more wind over here. And then one here. So if I go like this, that should connect it all up. Okay, tanks. I'm gonna put a few of these. It will hold anything we have extra of, but it won't change our production. And then I think I want oxygen. These are actually larger than I expected. Where would I like them being placed? Let's start over here. These are huge. I think this is the first time I've used tanks. If I move this power... Not all the green science has power. Or does it? It does all have power. Alright, if I go down here. Mama cat, jump down. That should mean I can get rid of these. Yeah, there's a little spot here and there, but this is all backed up. Now we should be seeing that there is less traffic by certain colors, but this has a lot of cars coming down. I think a lot of this is iron. Oh, that's chemicals. Which are all science. Where are you going? You're going into science, okay. You know what? I am ready for another piece of chocolate. So this one I showed you guys earlier, but I didn't say its Pokemon name. This is Gengar. It's a ghost and poison type Pokemon. I used to know all 151 Pokemon by their number. Like I used to know which Pokemon is number 25 or something. I think 25 is Pikachu. I know 52 for sure is Meow. One, 4, and 7 are the 3 starters. Okay. We're almost done the next science. Are we doing still green science? We are. We're getting methane next. Okay. We're gonna need that for yellow science. It's also a good power source. There's a lot of chemical trucks just sitting here. Is there a way that I could separate these? I think the chemicals and the chemicals and aluminum go straight to the green science. There's the methane stuff. So now we should be doing all blue science stuff. No, we're doing ship construction. Gotcha. Trying to think of another way to road this up. If we take stuff off of here and force it to be going in down here, that might help. Since nothing uses this road anymore, we could have that bridge over and then go up this way. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna edit this a little bit. And go right here. We're gonna press R to go up. Excuse me, chat. That came a little faster than I could pause the mic or mute the mic, whatever you want to call it. So I want to know what items come down here. We have iron and copper. We have oil by pipes. And then we have these two things which are delivered by these two. So what we can do for sure is have everything come down here. Going to create a lot of issues over here. But what I want to do next is delete this road. They'll figure themselves out. That should mean that the only two things going down here is the carbon from the atmosphere stuff going all the way up here to the steel. Our home appliances going to the homes, and then the chemical coming all the way to the research station. Everything else that the research needs should be coming down this road soon. Oh, I'm gonna have to disconnect this road, because they're probably still gonna go up. If I click on you, you still go up that way. And forcing the chemicals to go down that way isn't going to help us. What I could do is this. I'm pressing down, not up. So if I connect it over like that, then all this stuff goes up that way. It won't need this road at all. If I were to just delete that. I'm gonna put a little turnaround road here because everyone's coming down this way still. Oh, that just deleted a bunch of cars. Never mind, we're gonna go like this and just delete them. And now everything should not be going up that way. Where are you going? You are still saying that is faster than going this way. What if we bring the road from here? Into there. Well, now we have one person going that way. Apparently doing a drift in the sand. Where are you going? You're still going over there. Yeah, I don't know how to fix this. Where are you guys going? This one makes sense because that's the delivering appliances to the house. They could just go this way and around. These guys are now all going that way, it seems. Nope. So did I fix traffic or did I just push it somewhere it doesn't need to be? I did get the chemical trucks a better chance of getting in. I want them all going down here. And they're not all doing that way. Can't disconnect this. And we're in an ad, so I will see you guys in about 3 minutes. kind of forget what we were working towards, trying to get all this traffic done. You know what? With how the traffic is moving around, it seems like everything's getting better now that the chemicals are getting in. So maybe all we needed to do was separate everything from the chemicals. If I delete this road and just bring it straight in. I'm curious to see if either of this is more efficient. So if I come way out here and I grab you, how are you getting over there? You apparently want to use a road that's not there anymore. Okay, so the AI is set in place for where they're going. So if I click you, you should be updated with the newest roads. And you are going to go this way, apparently. Okay. So we don't need this. This does need a road for it to function, but we don't need it to actually connect into our city. So if I delete this, it looks like the tanks actually don't need to be on a road. Okay. I'm gonna leave this here just in case it's more efficient to go around this way. We could probably put a light here or something to help with traffic. If you click on an intersection, you pull up the different things here. The first one is changing the lanes, so you can tell a specific lane to only turn right, only go straight, or only go left. We also have a second tab that adds lights into it, which you see phases here. It automatically will skip a step if there are no cars there. So like it's not going to turn this light on because there's nobody there. It will phase to it, but then it'll go on off. And then you can change the amount of seconds it's on. So if you need one area to run longer than the others, you can change the time. The third thing, sorry, is a yield sign, so you can tell certain spots to yield to the other traffic. And then the last one just deletes everything and resets it all to how it was. I'm gonna see if this damages us or helps us, because it seems like there's a lot of cars coming from this way. They are starting to be in each other. This seems like it might want to be 15 seconds long. "10 seconds for this one seems fine. That was supposed to be 15, was it not? Oh, I have to press enter to make sure it stays. And all I'm trying to do is move where we are. There we go. I click the intersection so I can see the lights. There we Okay, so pretty much all the trucks got in through there. Do all the trucks get through here? I don't think they're going to, so I'm going to do 15. Oh, I don't want to close out of the intersection. This is all the aluminum catching up to where it's now coming in. We might want everything at 15 seconds. The chemicals are backed up, but they should be going down over time. If there were things like it in the game, I would put a roundabout here. We would have to get one-way roads unlocked and then make a one-way system in here. We don't have that unlocked yet. Why did this get reset to 10 seconds? That was weird. I was just trying to get the buttons to work so I can move around. Looks like I may need to extend the lights again. Now that there's even more traffic coming in here. I could just, you know, take everything off. I think red lights might actually be hurting us more than I thought they would. If we had 4 lanes, this would be a little bit easier to manage. But right now it's just a 2-lane road. They will occasionally switch which road is actually going. Now, we should see the chemicals stay pretty much non-existent, and once they are not backed up anymore, we should get this stuff moving faster. What is this working towards? Spaceship construction, that's just transporting green signs to here, but all the trucks are in the way. I got you. We are backing up quite a bit down here. But is that going down? If this car is able to move without phasing through another vehicle. Okay, that's kind of going down. So I really did just mess everything up by adding the lights in. I don't think we need to do methane yet. It's used for yellow science, but I don't think we need it. I'm just getting rid of all the icons. So this is almost completely down. And then that should make this move a lot faster. How close are we? 63%. And what are these trucks waiting here for? I feel like they've been there for a while, so they must have had an AI change and then came down this way to turn around. I have no idea why they're there. I think it's funny, I just saw a truck come out of here, pop over to the other side of the road, and drive in. Oh, they're all doing it for the ones just going across the street. They're just coming out, popping over, and then driving in, instead of just doing a smooth transition in. Okay, now that this isn't backed up anymore, it should mean that this road is able to empty. Which should mean that our green signs can actually get into the research station. Did we finish everything blue? I think we started everything that's blue, but we didn't finish it. Yeah, we started everything blue. Once we have everything that's blue, we might as well move this station over here so that the green signs can just go down the road instead of on the crossover into oncoming traffic. I could probably add a second one. I can add a second one. If I add one right there, will that help us? It should mean that we can get through science twice as fast. Because there's 2 places that trucks can deliver to, but it shouldn't mean that we're able to process through it fast. No, either way it would make sense that it would be faster. Not sure. This is not making enough. We need to put one more of these buildings down. And that means we're not making enough of these. That number didn't go up at all. Oh, you're not in power. That makes sense. I wish it would just tell you right away that you're not in power. That made enough, but now we need more copper, so let's go down here and add in another copper mine. And then go back to watching traffic. I can see that trucks are getting out of the green science buildings faster, so this is getting caught up. I can see that a bunch of cars are phasing in each other right here. So that is that a node? It is a node, so they phase into each other at nodes sometimes. Okay. They still leave that node at the same lane or same setup that they went in. Alright, we got pretty much the first 3 done. There is a Kakuna in chat. I know it's been in chat before, but have I caught it? I also know that I have it as one of the candies. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Nope. No, no. No. Found Pikachu. Oh, here's Bulbasaur. I'm gonna put that on the side. I have Caterpie, the opposite of Kakuna in a way. For every generation, there is a pair of bugs. Oh, there's Kakuna. So the thing that's in chat is this little thing. It's supposed to be a little cocoon Pokemon. Its main function in the game, if you catch it, is that its only move that it knows is the move called Harden, which boosts your defense. But then it has no attacking moves. So it can't deal any damage, it can only stop itself from getting as much damage. And it can't become invulnerable, so it'll still take damage, it'll just take, at some point, only 1 health point of damage. So I think it's only natural, since no one caught it, since we both had it, me and Gino, that I should eat Kakuna. Oh, it is also almost time for us to raid out. I just noticed the time. We have about 5 minutes left. And if it wasn't for me putting in those lights, we would have this sign stuff done already. We are getting closer over here. We're now working on getting the 4th building emptied. Where is that going? So you're going the wrong way. Are you going all the way down here to turn around? Oh no, you're going to this. Smart. You're not going the wrong way. So the cars that are going to come out of here and go to the left are things that are probably stuck in their AI. Nope, this one just went to the left. And these two... maybe they're going back and forth. They'll send one to the left, one to the right, and go back and forth like that. I don't know. All I know is this starting to back up again. So I think as more buildings start opening back up, they are requesting more cars and making more traffic and slowing themselves down. Because we did have these two coming out constantly. I don't know. We could also have the carbon coming this way. Is the only thing coming down this road carbon? This road is set up so that we can have the next set of housings, but we have it as a main road. What does this require us to have? We're required to have a level 2 habitat. We have a average of 2.7, so we're almost all at level 3s, which makes sense here. All of this seems fine. Our food, we're actually not making enough. We need a little bit more food. Is there anything else that is slightly lower than the number on its right? That's more, more. That's close, but not that. We might want to add another thing of oil and another thing of sand. No, that's sulfur. Let's add a thing of oil and a thing of sulfur. So that when we start the game again, we don't have to worry. I am going to delete that and then add it back in where we actually need power, which was the 2 mines. Okay, so now that is definitely more. That is less. We need more water. And the rest seems fine, because that's things we're not using, and power. If I just come down here, we add one more thing of oil. That should now push us way over the edge. Yep. And we are only using half of the amount of people we have. So half the population is unemployed. Which in this game isn't a bad thing. I might want to force the green trucks to always go to the right. But that's the alarm. It is time for us to save the game and find out who we're going to go right out to. So as we do, we should probably take a screenshot. I want to go, and the only way that I can get everything looks like this. Let's take our screenshot. We're so close to getting the thing of science completed. How far away are we? 94. I'm gonna let this run while we're raiding out. Actually doing that means that I would be tabbed out and the game will pause. I want to know how much science percentage gets done when one truck goes in. So there's a truck there. We're at 96. Now we're at 97. There's another one. And when it comes out, I'm going to check it again. 98. It looks like one truck is 1%. So that goes in. That should be 99 when it comes out. Is it going to come out? Or is that truck 99? One just came out. We are at 99. The percentage changes when they come out of the building. Okay. So that should be the last truck we need. Unless it's this truck over here. Maybe it's not one truck. I don't know what made it. But there we go. We have all the green signs completed that we need for now, right? Because the next thing is this, which is just blue, that's blue, that's blue. Okay, so this is probably going to stock up its full storage and then stop requesting cars, or traffic's going to get better. So, we took a screenshot. I'm going to save the game. As you see, I have different things here. This is my first try, accurately named. And what we're going to do down here is name this Shady Acres, because that is our town's name from City Skyline. So we might as well bring it all the way. And just to make sure that's saved, we are good to go. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to catch me live, I stream on Twitch on Wednesdays and Fridays from 10 AM EST to 12:30 PM EST, and on Sundays from 10 AM EST to 2 PM EST.